Welcome back to another part of our F1 24 Kimi Antonelli career mode. Today we go to Australia and Albert Park for the Australian Grand Prix. But last time out in Jeddah, we had a very good result, finishing P12 at the line, albeit 23 seconds behind 11th placed Lance Stroll, but still very solid, which was a good bounce back. And we needed that after a DNF in Bahrain after an engine failure on lap 2. But we have a secret meeting, if you remember last time, and which team is it going to be? It's Haas. Haas are the team wanting to sign us. Now that is very interesting because they are one of the few teams behind us in the constructors at the moment. We will continue the talks, I believe, just to get a feel of what we're looking at. But I don't think we're going to sign with them because they're just below us. They're slower. And we're invested into this Kimi Antonelli project. But we'll continue the talks for now. Hopefully no one finds out in the team finds out. But that is very interesting that Haas want to talk to us. Very interesting indeed. We gained a bit of experience after practice. We're into the race weekend. And now let's head to qualifying. So then for our first lap in Q1, we are about a second behind Hulkenberg at the moment as we start sector 2. And you can tell just from those few corners, I'm really struggling with the car. Well, not struggling. It's just I'm not used to the track yet. Obviously, still F1 24, quite a new game. Only third race, and the first race was an engine failure. And the second race was quite a defensive drive. But still just getting used to the track. First time driving this track, and it's just been quite difficult, to be honest, to adapt because Australia is quite a medium speed circuit. It's got some high speed, it's got some low speed, but it's a good track to drive, I would say, on F1 24, and it's a 1:22.2 from us, which is a shocking lap. So we go out again on the same tyres. It has to be said, but as we come up to the line, we've gained 7 tenths, and that puts us up into P18, but still 1.2 seconds behind Valtteri Bottas in P16. So we go out for one last time on new tyres. Will this lap be enough to get us through into Q3? I hope it will be. But as things stand, the first sector time, pretty similar, pretty much exactly the same. But it was the middle and final sector where we really could gain time. And you can see from that one corner there, we gained about 3 tenths of a second and then almost lose quite a bit of it in the next right-hander. But as we come round the final corner, we've gained 1.2 seconds. As we come up to the line, are we going to be making it through to Q2 for the first time in our career? No, we are not. Only P18 for us. We did make it through into Q3 actually in Bahrain, but I'm not counting that one as such. But Alexander Albon does make it through into Q2, so he's doing well in the Williams, but we were only 3 tenths off of him. So not an awful performance, but both Haas's are behind us, which is something to bear in mind if they're trying to talk to us. Now let's head to the race.
This circuit missed a few years off the F1 calendar, and we missed Albert Park. So welcome back, and it's great to be back in Melbourne. Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix. So here we are at Albert Park Circuit, 3.28 miles around, with the streets making for a bumpy surface with little undulation. There are 14 corners around the lake, with the best passing opportunities coming at turn 1 and turn 3. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lando Norris lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Stroll, Tsunoda, Albon, Gasly, Ricciardo, Joe, Ocon, Bottas, Williams, Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me, bringing glamour and expertise to our commentary today, Naomi Schiff. I don't want to, but we should look at their recent performances, and I think poor is a universal word to describe them. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race, but I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating, others may be up to other things that they do. But these little things really help their minds get ready for the race.
Back of the grid, not great I know, but let's just try and use the first lap to push your way up the order.
We certainly will, Mark. Don't you worry about that. Here we are then in the strategy screen. We did play around with it for a bit, maybe trying a medium soft, which was 3/10 faster than the projected strategy. And we could make it 7/10 if we tried, or even just over a second faster. But still, that would be 12 seconds faster than just a medium to hard strategy. So I feel like it's best to go for the medium to hard. We're also going to be a bit more generous with the amount of fuel we start with, because we don't want to encounter something like we did in Australia, in Jeddah last time, as we go to 5 red lights for our first ever Australian Grand Prix here in Albert Park. From P18 on the grid, it's lights out and away we go. Pretty good start from us. Maybe Hulkenberg off to a flyer as well, but as we use ERS into turn 1 and slipstream, we go down the inside of about 5 cars. Can we get our teammate as well? No, not quite, but up to P15 from P18. Not too shabby at all. As now, as we head towards turn 3, Albon is going for the move on Joe. Can we maybe just follow him through, as there's a lock-up up ahead from Pierre Gasly? Can we try and follow it through as we send it down the inside of Joe Guan Yu and Alexander Albon? And that's a double overtake from us. And we will take that absolutely up into P13. Albon will be stunned. The Williams garage, it will be buzzing. And we are up into P13. Pierre Gasly is the next man, next French driver that we have to overtake, as we will have the ERS. We have good straight line speed. The Williams has always got good straight line speed. We gain. I thought about sending it, but decided against it. A bit too risky, that is, but with a good exit out of the chicane as we head towards the right-hander, the long braking zone, the second DRS, and we send it down the side of Pierre Gasly, much later braking, and we move up into P12 and 2-3 positions away from points. And now lap 3, we gain on Stroll. It's taken us a while. We go down the inside of Stroll and Tsunoda as well, and that is into the points positions for the first time in our career mode since Bahrain. But Tsunoda's going to want to come straight back at us, but under the braking, we do keep P10. And can we hold this for the rest of the race? I hope so. That will be monumental for us if we could pull this off. And I sure hope we can do. But as you can see, that these final few corners, I'm still struggling a bit just to adapt to the circuit. It has been a few laps, so I'm better around the other corners. But still, that final sector, I'm not the best at. As here we are, can Tsunoda maybe come back at us as we head towards turn 3? Or is he a bit far back? He was just a bit far back. As we finish lap 4 and move on to lap 5, Stroll has overtaken Tsunoda, so we're going to have a bigger threat behind us in the form of an Aston Martin. As we start the start-finish straight, begin lap 5 in the points. It's all looking good so far. We did momentarily break the DRS to Stroll, but now he's going to go down the inside of us into turn 1, and he's going to overtake us. So is Tsunoda, and so is Gasly, and everyone else in the field, because we have got another engine failure. Oh dearie me, that is not ideal at all. That's absolutely ridiculous. Unbelievable. Our engines failed again. And this time it lasted 5 laps. But it's only our 3rd ever race, and we've only ever finished one of them. An awful start to our Kimi Antonelli career mode then. In these first 3 races, we've got DNF, P12, and then DNF.
Wow, that's 3 wins in a row. This clearly solidifies them as a season contender. It's very tough to achieve 3 in a row, so very well done.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they secured here.
Max Verstappen then winning in Australia, which makes it his 3rd race win in 3. Alexander Albon finishes P12, very solid result for him and the team. But it's what if for us, as we were in the points before our engine failure. But that makes it 2 out of 3 races and with engine failures for us, and that is honestly unacceptable from the team. It's true we haven't invested in the durability, but we've got to be doing much better than that. We haven't really had the points to even invest in the durability. But that is disappointing, and I'll be certainly having many words with Mark and everyone else at the team about why my engine isn't working, because that is a poor start from us into our career mode, despite looking very, very promising. And our ratings in fact actually went down in some places, so we are closer to a 65 overall than we are to a 66 to 67, which is where we want to be. But thank you guys for watching this very, very short episode of our Kimi Antonelli career mode. Hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one in Suzuka. I'm going to struggle there a lot because I cannot drive around Japan to save my life. See you guys then. Make sure to like the video and see you next time. Goodbye.